What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Pretty stoked today because I'm going to be showing you exactly what I did on the 5th day of my Summoner's War growth. So the last couple days have been a little slower than they would normally be in real life, and I'm logging in during a summoning session, just showing you some of the summons that I got from clearing the Fame and Volcano all the way through Hell mode. And I just wanted to show you some of the stuff that we got. We got a Water Pirate, which is going to be super useful. And we got a Light and Darkness Scroll, which, if I recall correctly, doesn't really give us anything worthwhile, but that's okay. So what I'm doing at this point is I'm just using up some of the unknown scrolls that I got, and I'm leveling up some of my monsters. I'm skilling up some of my monsters. But basically, today is a short day because it is Christmas. So I'm recording some of these videos on Christmas Day. I recorded them on my iPhone because I wasn't actually at a computer to record them the way I normally would. So I have kind of cobbled together a hodgepodge of me playing at a bunch of different times. But I promise I will make heads or tails of it, but I just wanted to show you what I did today. So we 6-starred the Magic Knight yesterday. Our goal today is to get through GB7 and get some of the perks of that, as well as obtain some really awesome monsters that we're going to use later in the game. So just to kind of recap, our goal in 30 days is Trial of Ascension 100, GB10, which is the Giants Basement 10, and Dragons Basement 10. So what I do today is I basically come in with my Water Magic Knight, and I am just going to grind him up to level 40. And so while I'm doing that, I just want to talk to you about some of the stuff that's going on today that kind of makes this a unique video. So from following the challenges, and I'll show you in this video, I show the challenges that I've done. From doing the challenges, I've gotten enough awakening material from those challenges for magic and water to actually awaken the Water Magic Knight into Lapis. So today, we're also going to awaken our Water Magic Knight. Now, here's a little disclaimer. We did get a comment on one of the videos that said, wow, it took you 30 days to get to GB5. And it did, and that's because I am on vacation and because I want this to come across as a casual gameplay. I don't want you to feel like you have to spend hours and hours to make this happen. Yes, there's a grind. Yes, there is work into getting runes, but I don't want you to feel like you have to be playing 8 hours a day to get these results, right? Because I've read the guys that are like 8 days to Giants B10, and it's like, yeah, but you're playing 8 hours a day, right? So even though I'm on vacation right now, enjoying the holidays, I don't want this to feel completely impossible if you don't have the benefit of a holiday. So what I'm doing right now is I'm grinding up the Magic Knight to 6-star max, which is also going to give us what we need to kind of awaken her along with some other perks. While I'm doing that, I do want to let you know that during this game, there is an event going on. So I've already talked about events, but there is an event going on where you can summon a 4-star monster. And you're going to see later in the game that I summoned the Fire Vampire. Now, there's all kinds of arguments about which one is the best and which 4-star monster should you go for first if you've got this option. Here's why I go with the Fire Vampire today. Number one, I want him to clear the Dragons B10, so I'm going to want him down the road. But number two, he's a fusible monster. So even if you're watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, there's no 4-star event going on right now, or I don't have a 4-star event, that's okay. You can still fuse the Fire Vampire that we're going to get today. So that's going to be really powerful, a really cool thing that we're going to do here. And so I just wanted to let you know that while I'm leveling up here, I know there's nothing really super exciting going on the screen, but I did want to make sure that I walked you through kind of what's going to happen today. So we're taking our Water Magic Knight to the max level, we're getting our Fire Vampire, and then the other thing that we're going to do today is farm the scenarios for runes, as well as complete all of the scenarios through normal, hard, and hell. So I'm going to take the time today to actually complete every scenario, which is going to give me some crystals, is going to give me some benefits. So absolutely worth the time. We just maxed out our Magic Knight. So we get a Devilmon And we're also going to get some scrolls. Let's see if we get anything worthwhile from those scrolls. Summon, summon, summon. Grab them from our inventory. And water, nope. Fire, nope. Wind, nope. Nothing. No lightning. You get a lightning when it's a 4 or 5 star monster. But we are starting to rack up some 3-star monsters, which is really useful. So, like I said, our next step is going to be, we've completed the daily dungeons up through 5F, and we've awakened some monsters. And so what we're going to have unlocked from clearing these, just showing you real quick, the daily dungeon clears that you need to complete. By completing those, we now have the essence to awaken our Magic Knight. Let's go to our Magic Knight. Let's hit that awaken button. You're going to see a nice, cool little fancy animation here. And just like that, she's more powerful. Now, her first skill has an attack bar reduction that it didn't previously have, and her stats increase. So she's going to become even more powerful. And now we have awakened the monsters that we need to really clear Giants B7 minimum. We've got Lapis, we've got Bella, we've got Bernard, we've got Shannon, and we've got Konamiya, all awakened from doing challenges, and that we've leveled up. So our other goal for today is to get all of those monsters to 5 stars. So we want to have 5 5-star monsters to run the dungeons, and we want to have them at 10,000 HP apiece. Now, if you get lost on why I'm talking about that, it's because those are the challenges we need to complete under the Giants Progression Challenge. So we now have these monsters. I'm just taking a peek at what we're missing for Bernard. We're missing some Swift runes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go farm for Swift runes. And I'm also going to, let's see, what do I want to do first? Yeah, I'm gonna complete the scenarios and farm for Swift runes. So I'm not gonna make you sit here while I do all of that. Just know that as you get towards the end of the scenarios, the last 2 to 3 scenarios, they're a little harder to complete even with this 5-star team. So if you get to those last scenarios and you can't complete them, you may need to use the help of a friend. Now, if you remember during the day that we were farming the secret dungeons, I told you to search and add friends. You wanted to get at least 15 to 20 friends that would help you farm the Famine scenario. Doing that is also going to get you friends that can help you complete the hard and hell scenarios of the last 2 to 3 scenario stages. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start going through the scenarios. I'm going to clear them, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you a little bit about what I do next. So at this point in the game, I've cleared the scenarios, and what I'm going to do is just go through and build some of the buildings that the game has requested for us. And specifically, I need to get monster storage because my inventory is starting to fill up pretty quickly. However, to have space for monster storage, I'm going to need to expand my island, which is pretty simple to do, relatively cheap. I've got lots of mana from farming those scenarios, and we're going to drop in monster storage. Now, once I've got the monster storage, I'm going to drop some of my monsters in there, probably just my Rainbow Mon to start, just to keep them in a separate location. There is a specific building for Rainbow Mons that we're going to get later, but I'm not going to stress about that right now. I'm also going to build a craft shop. Now, I'm going to do something that's going to be a little controversial here, but within the craft shop, you can feed 3-star monsters to make 3-star max Rainbow Mon. So you can level your monsters faster, but less effectively because it costs 3-star monsters. So what I'm gonna do in this next section is take some of the 3-star monsters that aren't fusion monsters, and I'm gonna turn them into 3-star max monsters. So I think it's worth doing this if you kind of know that they're not fusion monsters. So if you need them for a fusion, which we've already talked a little bit about fusion, don't use them. If you think you're going to use them later in the game, don't use them. But I've played this game long enough that I kind of know what I don't need to keep right now. And I'm trying to get my Konamiya up to 5-star ASAP because I've got all my other monsters up to 5-star. And I need 5 5-star monsters to clear that Giants challenge. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and run with it. I also expand my inventory a little bit just so that I've got space to use some of my unknown scrolls. And I'm just going to level up some of my monsters there. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just leveling up and we can jump right into the next part of the video. I won't make you sit here while I level up all my monsters. So now that I've leveled up some monsters, we are back in it. I'm going to summon, or rather show you, that I can summon the Fire Vampire from that event. So I now have the Fire Vampire from the event. Again, I would put fusing the Fire Vampire on like a 10 to 15 day, maybe even 20-day timeline, but when the opportunity presented itself in the event to get him, I couldn't pass it up. He's going to be really useful for dragons, so we're not going to use him for a while. But I am going to grab him while I've got the opportunity. So all I'm doing right now is just taking the unknown scrolls, using them, leveling up the vampire, and eventually I'll get this vampire to 4-star max, which is going to unlock another one of the challenges that we need to get some more resources. So again, we're just playing through the game with the challenges and completing the scenarios, and that's going to be really, really powerful. So let's level him up and let's jump back in. So we leveled up that vampire, and I just want to show you that from our farming, we got some runes for Bernard. So now we should be able to clear GB7 pretty successfully and pretty consistently on auto. So I've got my 5-star monsters. I want to make sure they have a minimum of 10,000 HP each from the runes, okay? So for Bernard, I did a Swift Broken set, and I just want to show you here that that lets you clear the giants pretty simply on GB7. And with Bella and Konomiya, you've got a pretty safe team that heals pretty effectively. So we're going to clear this once. I just want to show you the mechanics of the boss. Basically, he's going to lower your defense. Luckily, you've got the buff from Shannon that helps that. And as you keep your defense lowered, you've also got Konomiya to cleanse that defense every once in a while. Doesn't always work, but at the GB7 level, it's really not a huge deal. That clears up and gives us some Rainbowmon and some Angelmon. We're going to rerun it on auto now that we cleared those first 2 challenges. You can see it needs to conquer 7F on auto. We're going to run it again. We just did it on auto, but you have to clear those first 2, and then you clear it again. Pretty simple. Again, pretty straightforward. Most of the runes have been provided by the game, which makes it really nice and really simple. And Konomiya doesn't really have fantastic runes. I'll probably need to change that in the near future, along with get some skill ups for Bella and Bernard. And Loppies, I'm not super worried about skill ups yet, but I am going to want them as the game continues. So we're going to clear this one more time, and the only reason I'm running it again live is just to show you that it is a pretty consistent, safe run with what I'm working with. I just used scenario runes on Bernard and scenario runes on Konomiya, and then challenge or tutorial provided runes on everybody else. So we lost our Bernard, not a big deal because we've got everybody else at 5-star. So that's going to unlock everything for us for today. Just to recap everything that we did, I'll do that in a second. I just want to show you we've got that Devilmon right there. And our next goal is going to be Giants B10. All right, I know I said I was about to recap, but something happened. I told you it was Christmas when I started this video, and I got a gift card for Christmas. So I actually decided to grab the beginner's pack for $29.99. Now, listen, I will preface this by saying you do not need the beginner's pack. It's going to shave off a little bit of time, but I thought it was worth grabbing and ending the Christmas episode with a little bit of a mini summon session. So we grabbed a legendary scroll. We are hoping and praying for our first 5-star monster. As you can see from the game so far, they are not very common. But we are going to store some of our monsters in storage so that we've got the space to summon these monsters. So let's throw some stuff in storage here. We're going to expand our storage a little bit, and then we're going to have a mini summoning session just to kind of see if we get anything good here. Like I said, the beginner's pack, it's $29.99. You get it for the first, I want to say 7 days that you're in the game. It's an opportunity. It's a pretty decent value, but you don't need to get it to be successful. I just want to, because like I said in the last, or earlier in this video, in the last video, it is Christmas Eve, I'm not playing as much, and so I'm using this to kind of compensate for the time I usually be grinding in the game to just get some monsters. So let's see if we get anything good from these mystical scrolls. No lightning yet. Come on, lightning. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. Oh, there's some lightning. Oh, actually, that's really good. We have the Wind Death Knight. That's actually a really useful monster in the game. He's one of our first revivers that we want to get. So, ooh, got another lightning. Let's see if it's anything good. It's okay. It's a water nine-tailed fox. Soa, not unuseful. See what our legendary holds. Come on. Always gives you lightning. Let's see if it gives us a 5-star. And a Water Samurai. Not wildly useful. Not a bad mid-game monster. Decent for the arena sometimes. But definitely a fusion monster. So we'll be holding on to him for later in the game. So that's our mini summoning session. I want to wrap up here with a little recap. And just to remind you, again, you do not need the beginner's pack. But for the sake of transparency for this, I wanted to make sure I showed you that I grabbed it. So let's wrap up with a recap. All right, so let's wrap this sucker with a recap. We got our 5 core monsters to 5-star so that we could get the GB clearance challenge rewards. We completed all the scenarios. We needed a little bit of friends' help at the end, which we talked about in a previous video, how to get those. We completed GB7 on auto, and we can now consistently complete it on auto. We got the Fire Vampire from an event. Again, he would be a fusion monster we get down the road, but when opportunity knocks, we do not let it pass. And we bought the beginner's pack for $29.99, which is wildly unrequired, but was a little fun to have a mini summon session at the end. So that is our day 5. I cannot wait to get back to you on day 6. I think we're going to make some absolute crazy progress, and yeah, it's going to be great. So I'll see you in the next video.